who is supposed to be a Muslim. They have church and they even have bishop there. Indonesia is the country with the highest concentration, the most populated Muslim country in the world. So it is not about religion. In London, the mosque, Central Mosque, the land was donated by the Queen of England. Was donated by Queen of England. He is not a Muslim. He is the head of Church of England, Anglican Christian Church. So it is not about religion. It is that people are not educated, they are poor, they've not been taught, people are using them, using tribe and everything to manipulate them. These are things we must deal with and deal with it head on.
Thank you, sir. I think we're going to, because going forward, we understand how the journey is going to be. Many of us have never been through this road before, but you have been through this road 3 times. Although as a governor, people will really need to be hearing from you. So probably when you say bi-monthly, hopefully very, very helpful for the obedient movement. But let me allow the remaining speakers up here to ask you questions real quick. One questions each, please. I think I'm going to take a lady, my sister Pearls, another strong voice and strong advocate for the movement, and one of your strong disciples. She's up here also. Pearls, let me bring you into the conversation now. Good afternoon. Big good evening, my sister.
Okay, good afternoon, Saddam. Thank you very much for this space. Good day, David. Your Excellency, it's very good to see you here on this space. And what I have is a comment, not a question. This is something I said to you when you came here to the US in one of your meetings with the Obedience, and I'm going to say it here again. Your Excellency, I just want to say thank you very much for who you are. Thank you for stepping up to contest. And you've given a whole lot of Nigerians hope that Nigeria can actually get better. Because trust me, before you came out, sir, a lot of people had lost hope that anything good can actually come out from Nigeria. So coming out to contest gave a whole lot of people hope. Thank you very much, sir, for changing the dynamics of the Nigerian political space. You know, so prior to the elections, I had Twitter spaces where I had over 15 commissioners that worked with you as governor, including people like Professor Stella Okuna, and they all had wonderful reports to give about you as governor of Anambra State. So I was actually looking forward to having you as president. I know you are still going to become our president. We look forward to recovering our mandate, and we're not losing hope. Like someone has said here before, we're going to be with you. You're not going to go to court alone this time around. You have many people like me, Saddam, a whole thousands of obedience standing for you. We are with you, sir. We just want to say thank you. We appreciate you. We love you. And keep being who you are. Just keep being who you are, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, my sister. And you too for what you're doing by believing in what we're doing. And like I keep saying, if there's anything you think I'm doing wrong and everything, please be able to voice it out. Let's discuss it. You know, I want to learn as well. You know, there's a lot I can learn from all of you on how we can do it better.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Batunde, you've been here for long, so I don't know if you want to ask a question or a comment. You have the space, sir. Now, good evening.
Good evening, Emma Saddam. Thanks very much. Thank you very much, everyone, for being so steadfast. Your Excellency, Mr. Peter Obi, I want to thank you for being as steadfast and as persistent as you have been in this fight. I want to thank you for your courage, for your grace under fire. You've been just fantastic and exemplary to those of us who are politicians and millions more who were not politicians but are now politicians because of you. The question I wanted to ask is more of a developmental question. In view of the huge debt overhang, and in my opinion, the deliberate plunging of Nigeria into needless debt over the last 8 years, do you think, sir, that once the mandate is recovered, because I believe that by the grace of God it will be recovered, do you think that we will have enough to fix our specifically transport infrastructure problems? Because I personally believe that our GDP is, the reason our GDP is low is because of the relatively poor transportation infrastructure that we have, both roads and trains and water transportation. We just seem to be determined not to maximize what we have. We haven't even finished trading within Nigeria itself. The volume of trade inside Nigeria, in my opinion, is very, very low because of our transportation problems. Thank you, sir.
Well, I will differ a bit with you. It's not just trade. The level of productivity is very low. That includes what you say, volume of trade, volume of transportation infrastructure, everything is low. And like I said before, let me tell you about debt. There's nothing wrong with debt. It is what you use the debt to do that is a problem. All the G7 countries that you see that are meeting, and they call them the 7 most developed economy, none of them owes less than 70% of its GDP. To the best of my knowledge, unless it changed yesterday. America now, with about 25 trillion GDP, is battling with that 1 trillion debt. That's the biggest economy. Followed by China in size, but China is low when you compare to per capita. So I'll say followed by Japan. And Japan is owing over 30% of their GDP. The difference is that the debts in these 2 countries, Germany, Britain, are invested. The people know where this money, is invested. They're invested for the benefit of the people. Ours is that it is all about consumption. When you borrow for production, you're going to get the benefit. When you borrow for consumption, you've thrown it away. And that is where the problem is. So we're almost at a debt of over nearly 40–50% of our GDP without anything to show for it. When Japan is owning over 230% of their GDP, everybody knew that this ballooned when they were trying to save their economy during the financial crisis. And today, Japan is still the highest holder of US treasuries. So they even have some invested. We don't have that. If we become productive, you start pulling people out of poverty, you generate more money, and with that, you start again reducing or managing your debt. Let me give you an example. Our debt today is about 80 trillion, which if you use the official rate, call it $200 billion, which is about 50% of our GDP. But I can tell you, if you borrow, if we're able to invest another 50 billion properly in critical areas of development, you can have your GDP, you can have a growth of over 6%, up to 7%, which can now bring you, within a short while, to a GDP of 600, which will increase your per capita, reduce your debt. Your debt is down to 200. You take another 50, your debt has increased to where it is almost maybe 60-something% of your GDP. In fact, if you borrow 100, you are 75%. But if you increase it to 600, it comes down to 50. Because that last 100 you borrow, you've invested it properly. If you throw money today, we can generate more money today from agriculture. It's like when people talk about this issue of rate of exchange. You can strengthen your money today by doing more exports. What drives the exchange rate? Your reserve. What drives your reserve? Exports. Nigeria as a country, if you use 2021, because 2022 we're still looking at the numbers. In 2021, our export was 18.9 trillion, which at 650 is under $30 billion. When a country like Vietnam, within the same year, exported over $350 billion, our own is including oil. Vietnam own is 90% manufactured goods. Vietnam, 100 million people living on 1/3 of our land, because they live on 331,000 square kilometers and we live on 920-something thousand. So they have 1/3 of our land, half of our population, and their export is over 10 times ours. If Nigeria today can double its export alone, you will increase our reserve, bring down our rate of exchange, and if you continue investment in critical areas, our GDP will grow, your per capita income will grow, you pull more people out of poverty, you earn more revenue. Because one of the problems of government today is revenue mismatch. You can't earn more revenue when millions of people are in poverty. The more you pull people out of poverty, the more you increase productivity, the more you get more revenue to do government job instead of borrowing. And if you continue to invest in the right direction, the more you continue to turn around the country. And that's what we're doing. So that's why I plead with you. Do not be bothered. Don't lose hope about what is going to come in and not going to do the right things, the wrong things. But remember what I said. The process through which people arrive into office, for me, is far more fundamental. Somebody can go to exam, do exam malpractice, copy pass, come out of school, and become the best entrepreneur, become the best of become the best of everything. For me, let's get the right things right. Let's get things right. Because that's what the children That's what the young ones are going to look at. We now have people in primary school and secondary school belonging to cults. Belonging to cults. That is unbelievable in our country. Why do you think they're doing that? Because they've seen their parents do the wrong thing. We must stop that. And that's where I am. And that's why I plead with you people, please, as we go through this pain, let us stay together. Let us vow to do the right things. Let us vow to do that people should have the right character. We want to see the right people where people can tell us who they are, the background, it's normal life. Nobody is a saint. Nobody will claim to be one. I don't. Maybe I've made some mistakes in the past. Maybe I've done some things wrong. Maybe I've done this. But like I always say, I can't say I've knowingly done this thing, which is wrong. I can't say, oh, I've given these resources to manage. Somebody asked me a question about a month ago. He said, Peter, supposing tomorrow we found out there's a place you stole 10 billion of Anambra money. And I said to him, you'll never find out. He said, I said, you will never find out. He said, supposing we found where you stole 5 billion. I said, you'll never find out. And I said to him, but let me tell you, remember what I said, you will never find out. You will never find out. But I told him, I said, let me tell you the difference between me and some other people. Assuming I decided to keep $150 million, which I left behind, and I decided to settle myself with 15, I left 135 million. I told him, I said, after all, the law they wanted me to pass, they were to build a house for me in Oka, my village, or Abuja, or 3 places I wanted. And that from what the law says, each of those that would have cost Anambra State about $500 million naira then. So they would have used about 1.5 billion, build 3 houses for me, buy me cars, everything was to cost Anambra when I was living 2.5 billion. And I could have said to them, give it to me in cash. And I took it away. I said, at the time I'm leaving office, I wasn't owing anybody. I didn't create any debt. I never borrowed 1 naira. I didn't. So, assuming that was the case, and I had to take $15 million, that it is even pardonable that somebody who came, borrowed the same amount and took it away. But that I'm telling him, go and look into that I can account for 99% of Anambra's losses when I was in government. Maybe 1% I might not account, maybe even 2%, but I'm sure that I'm comfortably over 90%. And not that even 10 years, I can account for them today. Not even going to look for any book. If you call anything, I can tell you, this is how we handle this money. This is how we handle this money. This is how we handle this money.
Sir, I just have to come in here because I am getting a whole lot of slack from the back. I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm getting a whole lot of slack from the background because I'm
I
getting
can hear
two
you, but
calls.
I'm begging to run away.
Yes, exactly. That's what I just want to do right now. That's what I want to do right now. Please, guys. You have said that you're going to be coming here bi-monthly, so we have to hold you by your words. If you can account for Anambra's money 99%, we're going to account. You're going to hold you accountable for your words here on this platform. We're expecting you back in 2 weeks' time. Is that a deal?
No, I thought they said bi-monthly. I thought
Okay,
every 2 months,
Okay,
not 2
once every
weeks.
2 months. Okay, once every two.
No, quite frankly, we can meet as long as often as we can. You know,
I
every 2 months, so that we have enough to discuss. You know, because when
every
we
two
now
months. Every
come,
2 months is
we
good.
cannot schedule it that we will be doing maybe 2 hours, and we look at different areas because I'm going to be moderating. What are we going to do every party? And remember that when it is over, I'm going to go around and thank all of you who have worked so hard, the states, everything, you know, because people have worked so hard. This won't just be a situation where it's all talk, talk, talk. We need to see, talk. I need to learn. I want to learn as much as possible
Sir,
from you people.
thank you very much, sir. Sir, you have to leave now because my neck is on the line. If you spend 1 more minute here, I might get fired. So please, thank you very much,
Please
sir.
don't who fire you.
Talk to
But
Aisha on
let
my
me
behalf.
assure
I'm out.
everybody, I thank all of you for this evening and everything. And please remain prayerful for our country. We have no other country except this one. Remain prayerful for the leaders and the politicians, that it touches them to do the right thing, use the country's resources in where it will be productive. It touches them to obey the law, do the right things. That we cannot spend money wrongly the way we're going. Just like we have just done, spend $1 billion for election, and then 80% of it ends up in the court. We should be able to do it better. Spend money to do things in the right way, a more organized manner, and everything. Remain law-abiding, and be always, always, always say things and stand for what is right. It is important for us. If we all do it together, we will achieve. I know how dampened you are that this your effort did not come out the way you have wished. But remember, we are in a long distance race. We are fighting a battle with entrenched establishment. It is not going to be easy. You're going to, even me, in the coming months, I'm going to be facing all sorts of problems, allegations, blackmail, everything. No problem. Don't worry about it. Like I keep telling people will say, oh, you're going to be detained, you're going to be do this. Whatever happens, I'll take it. All I can tell you is that I'll remain law-abiding. I'll follow the rules. I'll do the right things. I will not in any way bring my country or you or anything to ridicule or do what is wrong in the country. We must do the right things. We must speak truth to power, whether they like it or not. We must do the right things because this is the only country we have, and we must make it better for our children and for the next generation and pull people out of poverty. We must remove it from consumption to production and make it one of the great countries of the world. So I thank you people for all your sacrifice. Do not in any way feel dampened. Feel great because you've been part of this greatness. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure having you on the platform. Hopefully, in 2 months' time, we'll be back here again. you address your people. Please stay strong for us. Do not cower to them. And whenever you think you're in the tight corner they have boxed you, please speak out. The most important thing you should understand is that you have majority of Nigerians behind you, and majority of us we're going to stay with you till the very, very, very end. Thank you for choosing to do this with us on the Parallel Facts. Hopefully we have you again in 2 months' time. Hope you keep to your words by then, because we'll be disturbing you, and if you don't come, we will drag you. Thank you. And please, one more thing, do not apologize on behalf of the obedience anymore. We are big enough to handle ourselves. Take care of yourself and your family. God bless you very, very much. Please. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to have you. Thank you, sir. David, do you have any parting words? All right, I think we might have the space running for the next couple of hours. We just have reactions from people on the platform. So you can leave. You can take your leave anytime you want. We'll have reactions. We'll have reactions from our people. Thank you very much, sir, for having you here. Thank you, sir. God bless you. Thank you. All right, guys. That was Your Excellency, Mr. Peter Obi himself. I'll be having reactions to the space as much as we can. Probably next few minutes, next few hours. We'll allow people come and react. I'm just so blown away because my DMs are a mess. I have over 1,000 messages in my DMs right
please
now.
Check your DM, please.
Oh, you say you don't send? So it's crazy, man. My DMs are something else. So I'm just trying to sort it out. And please, guys, we have over 100 and something speakers requesting the mic, and everybody cannot come up and speak. But we're going to allow people come up as much as possible. As we can see, Peter has promised that he's going to be a bi-monthly event. So hopefully, we keep it fresh again next time he comes back here and asks these questions. And hopefully the space crashing that affected us, we lost over 1 hour 30 minutes to the whole space crashing, him not able to come on space. So I think I'm going to start with Mr. Vince. I'm sorry, Mr. Vince, you were here up from the very beginning. I could not speak to him. I have to apologize to you personally for that. I wish you asked him your questions, but you see how it is here. So thank you, sir. Let me open the floor. I think I'll open the floor right now for people to come in and give reactions, comments, whatever you think you have to say. I think it is now the time for us to have this conversation going forward. And let me bring in my brother Ibrahim. Ibrahim, can you hear me? Good evening, sir. Ibrahim, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Sorry, I just want to bring it up. Good evening. I've just been listening. Good evening, everyone. The co-hosts, David, Pals, all the men, Baba Tunde, all the big Morris. I can see a lot of big names here. I'm very sorry, Sadem, if I've been a little bit quiet. Just to push my head small and just do small violence and go back. I think, thank God, we are all here. Yesterday we were in Kaduna with Mr. Pio, but I just keep telling myself and also keep thanking God that how will today be or tomorrow be if there are not obedience in Nigeria? And that's what I always ask myself. I think we are the defenders of the universe, not only Nigeria, because in the next, between now and when we are going to get our mandate back, it's going to be a very, very terrible time for almost all of us. But we have to stay together. We have to work together. We know what fascism will do to this country. Everybody knows. It's not going to be easy. There's going to be a lot of blackmail. There's going to be a lot of, we have seen it from Pat Otomi to others. They are coming down, including, they are going to throw everything. Now they have the army, they have the DSS, they have the police, they have their own INEC now. So you can see he's going to name all those head of those agencies. So it's not going to be an easy task for us at all. But if you have the truth and you have the people, you have everything. And that's what he needs to be the president. That's the mandate from people, which we already have as obedience. So I think we don't have anything to, as Principal just said, let's just see together. One, we need our vehicle. We have to show them that vehicle is very important to us, the Labour Party. They will use it to see how they are going to slow us and also the way they deal with the Papa case and things, other things like that. And up in the north here, you know, a lot of the structures we have in the north have been dissolved themselves to other parties. So we really need to start thinking how to bring them back together, because we really need everybody to work from every part of the country. Just people that are staying in Lagos, they know what they have done to Lagos and why they call them the landlord. So if you think we want to do the kind of replica of it, that's why we start seeing Salido Combo on the street. You start seeing their talks in Abuja. That's the movement. So they're going to create those kind of crazy people to be head of agencies and government, and to do the same thing that they have done to scare people, take control of the National Bureau. The next person that is going to head the Federal Safety will be one of the thugs. And the next person that is going to be the head of NCDC maybe was part of somebody from that part of their own system. So you can see what they want to do. It's a lot of state capture plus organized crime, all put in the same basket. It's not going to be an easy task for anybody. So I think we need each other. I think this is the best place I have ever find myself. I've been an obedient, being with people that have Nigeria on their utmost priority. I know we're not going to keep quiet. We're always going to give them auto, as we said it all the time. Nobody will take it for granted. We're going to push all the arsenals, everything that we have. And one good thing I love about obedience is that the ability to research about things just as quickly as around 12 o'clock when President's wife is saying that they have enough money not to look for Nigerian money. Everybody start pasting what she has said before. So I so much love the speed at which we get our information, the speed a lot of people here help us to get things started. I always tell them, I said, and one of the things I love too about obedience and also this kind of violence space, that a lot of people here have a job to do. We are not people that are dependent on government, most of us here. And it's not going to be something that we work away just in a day. By special grace of God, in the 100 years, people will still talk about us. I'm so sure of that. The kind of caliber of people I'm seeing here, I'm so much believe in the next 100 years, as old people in our old time, we're still going to talk about this. I'm still going to tell people how we struggle to stand against the ties and also fight the status quo and get the Nigeria that we want. Even if you see them working tomorrow, even if you see them building bridges, even if you see them doing the right thing, I'm telling you, it's because of us here. I'm telling you, they're going to do it. Not because of anything. Because they definitely, these young people will never agree. They tell us to go and vote, and we have voted. And we know exactly what we voted for. Nobody can change it, no matter what they want to say. Nobody, they knew we know what we are doing. Nobody will look at the faces here and say, look at these people, they don't know what they are doing. I know a lot of gaslighting, they will see them, they will say this one, all. But just open their page, just read 1, 2, 3 of their posting. You know, they are just saying what they are. So Sadam, thank you so much for keeping us up to today. And I see Maurice, I see other guys that we've been talking, and everybody is here. Nobody is leaving. We are so happy with what we have done, and we just have to be together to continue. I know one of my friends called me, his dilemma is that most of his activities is a government contractor. How is he going to say, continue your business, do whatever you want to do? But you have to remember you have a family. That family is the obedient family. And this obedient family is not about you. It's not about Peter Obi. It's not about anybody. It's about Nigeria itself. It's about doing the right thing, pushing yourself to see yourself as one of the people that we can say, okay, this is the right. And the person that rejected this inauguration performance, we see how happy we are. There is a lot of people that will stick to what they want. We are not going to die. And we're still going to get our mandate. I'm so sure of that. I tell people, even anytime I wake up, I tell people, God is a God for us. And we have already told God this is what is happening to us. And we have prayed. And we will walk our ass. And we have cried for this country. They allocated 6 million to us. I know it's just allocated because they have a written result before they go into the election. Notwithstanding, we prove them wrong. I tell them they are messing up with the wrong generation. A lot of the young people that believe that, okay, let me just follow APC so that I become a PA or a SC. Some of us and the faces I'm seeing here, it's not about PE, and not about SC, it's not about talking. Most of the people that I see here, they are the people that just want a better Nigeria. Once that Nigeria is working, we get what we want. We do what we want. We eat, we live. We just want to be happy. I always tell people, we just want to be happy. We are not asking much. We want a working system, a working Nigeria, where somebody that is stealing money will go to jail. Somebody that is asked to protect people and he can't, he go to jail. Somebody that violated some standard, you understand, a level. A lot of people that here has traveled wide and they have seen what standard can do to people, what standard can do in hospital, what standard can do in schools. That's what we are asking. That's just what we are asking. We know what standard do to railway stations. We know what standard do to market, supermarket. We know what is standard. Because we have traveled, we have seen what standard is in restaurants. That's just what we are asking. We said, okay, if these people can do it in their places, why not in Nigeria? Why not we test the same thing? That's what we're asking. We're not saying reduce the cost for us. Oh, we don't want to pay. Well, we just want minimum requirement standard to live as humans, to shoulder high and say, yes, we are Nigerians and we have the best of brands. That's what I'm just saying. So Sadem, all our guys here, Sarah, my dear, thank you. We can't say enough thank you. And we have to keep working, more especially up in the north here. I told them we have to continue what we are doing. They have to see our logo everywhere. We have to take off, more especially this issue of drugs. And now with this menace of phone snatching, people are being killed in the north. I was on a radio program today and yesterday talking to people how we are going to organize ourselves in different smaller organizations and smaller communities. So we have to take this assistance to these people, skills, anything we think we can do to liberate people, because they weaponize poverty here up in the north. So that's what they are holding on to. And we have to break the chain. We have to allow these young people to participate. Those that can play football, those that can be musicians, those that can do acting. We have to create activities, and we name those activities to the movement that we have, so that they will be part of them. If you think of Zamfara, they will see somebody as a Zamfara person being an obedient from Zamfara, or being a Labour Party person in Zamfara, somebody very close to them. So we move this kind of activities to them. What our principal is saying about the Almajiri and other these things, we take them practical, so that we are not in government, but we are still solving those problems. That's what I want us to do. If we do that, at least we'll be loved, our principal will be loved, everybody will be loved, and then we can see, we can take over. I think we are too plenty. We are almost 30,000 of us here. 30,000 solid Nigerians that believe in Nigeria, that they have Nigeria. 30,000. This space. And this is just what we can see from what is written here. Yeah, maybe Saddam will tell us maybe we are almost getting to maybe 60, 70 or whatever. This is quality. Snap this picture. Go to any of this other group. Go and snap their own picture. Compare the names, compare the people. Just so that you can see. So if we 30,000 of solid of us, Nigeria and outside Nigeria, we want to change them. I swear to God, we will change it. No matter what that thing is. Thank you very much, and I yield my mic.
Thank you very much, my brother Ibrahim. Thank you. It's always a pleasure listening to you speak. Thank you for the work you're doing also on the grassroots. Thank you so much. All right, let me bring in Mr. Dr. Vince. One more time have to apologize to you. I don't even know if you want to make a submission now, because you can't ask a question anymore, but I'll allow you come in right now. And please, guys, we'll have the space going on for long. Also, let me just use this few seconds to sell our market Parallel Facts. Please hope you're following Parallel Facts. Subsequent spaces will be held on that handle. I don't know why this one crashed. It crashed earlier on, so subsequent spaces. So please, Follow them for the real news as it comes. Follow Parent Facts. Dr. Vince, can you come in right now? If not, I have to take the next hands up, which is called me Lexi Duke. Thank you.
Thank you, Saddam. I will go ahead and still ask that you go through what I was going to go through with PO. I'm going to be very fast, though. Thank you for squeezing me in. We really thank our principal for having the best interest of Nigeria at heart. We know many countries have their interest. The question for us, Obedience, has always been, who has the best interest of Nigeria collectively at heart? So, obviously we thank him. And, when he visited us in California last summer in Beverly Hills, Hilton, the atmosphere was electric, full of energy and hope. Nigerians from all backgrounds were there, some other Africans, and even some African Americans, Saddam. We all walked away from that event feeling that we were in the verge of history. A new Nigeria, a new Africa was imminent. And we made that history on February 25th, 2023. We all know what we all did. A lot of people don't want to be public with some of the things, but we did our best and we won. Saddam, but to our complete shock, they declared the wrong person the winner at 4 a.m. and said go to court. We are in court now, and we commend PO for his courage and staying in power. We stand firmly with him there. I know what so many people are saying. I was even mocked, but that's another thing. We are all new in this, and we're going to stay with PO till the end. What baffles us now, Saddam, what baffles many of us Obedience in the USA is what the Biden administration is doing in sending delegation to Abuja for this inauguration. It baffles us, and it's very confusing knowing that US is a champion of democracy around the world. And with all the information available to them through various channels about this election process, and they seem to be legitimizing this incoming government. So I was going to ask PO to talk about that. Just tell us something about it. So I don't know if I missed any of this. Maybe this was covered already. Saddam, if it was covered already, can you shed some light? Thank you so much for what you're doing. We know that this is a marathon, and we are going to stay the course. Saddam, over to you, please.
Thank you very much, Dr. Vince. I don't know which part you say what was covered. If you could rephrase the question, or you want a submission on me, or you just want a rhetorical
I wanted to
question.
know, I was going to ask PO if he could talk about the issue of Biden administration sending the delegation to Abuja. Yes, if he could talk about it.
First of all, I'll say I think David made a thread about that. Yeah, they sent the 13th, I think, in ranking. The person is 13th in position in ranking. First of all, I think for the biggest black nation in the world, if Nigeria was poised to be truly that biggest black nation, giant of Africa, I think US would have sent at least he would have sent, if it was not available, he would have sent Kamala, his deputy, or probably the third ranking person. But he had to send the 13th. But I feel like, even though I am not making peace of Biden, I feel like it still shows that he has not called this man. There's no open record of him saying he has called this man. Unlike other presidents, you see they call to congratulate the presidential candidate. He has not called him. But nations have to, in the sake of, it's a rigged election, yes, but nations have to, for, how do I put it now, for in case of foreign affairs policies, they just have to, these are things that have to be done. Things that have to be done. So I think we are in court, and when we prove in court and we get back our mandate back, they will still come out and make the real statement. So, but for now, I just feel like that's just my own view of the whole stuff. He does not rate this man. If he had rated him, at least he would have made a call. he would have made a call. But let's I'll allow other people probably answer these. Maybe people that have better understanding on this than me, but I don't feel that is my own opinion though. Okay, let me jump on to the next person. Mr. Kolade, you've been here, sir. Good evening. You have the space.
Good evening, my brother. Good evening to all the comrades out there. Yeah, this is another milestone. Thank you, everyone. We pulled this through. Yes, as our leader said, there's no cause for alarm. We are entering into another level with the next phase, and we are going to see this phase to the end. We're going to get our mandate back, and when we get it back, God willing, he's going to become the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I wanted to throw a question to him. I just wanted him to use the platform we had today to address in quotes the Agbadorians and the people from the other side, so that they know that it's just a journey. When it happens, he's still going to be the president for all. So that is what I wanted him to help us address them, because we added a whole lot of them on the platform today. And it's just so interesting how interested they are in getting to hear from him. But above all, kudos to everyone and to all the big handles out there tonight. Please, let us, from this moment onward, let us double whatever effort we've been putting in. Let us double it right now, and let us begin to amplify whatever we have been amplifying before now, and to let the judges know again that truly we are watching them, and we will not let them do any mago as we call it in Nigeria. Thank you so much, and God bless everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kolade. I think P.O. will not say that. That's why we say he should defend himself. We will defend ourselves. It is important we note that, and we say this to all these children of the roasted corn listening to us, that we are more in number than you guys. On air, off air, online, offline, you guys don't have the numbers. You did not win the elections, and you guys know it. You stole these elections, and we will get back our mandate. It's important you guys understand this, and be humble. Be humble, because when we get back our mandate, of which we will, you guys will understand why I said be humble now. Obedience, I just want to say this real quick. Please apply pressure on the judiciary. They came out complaining yesterday saying that obedience, that they didn't call obedience, they said opposition. Please put that pressure on them. Do not stop. Put the pressure on them. Let them understand that this judgment is one judgment that you cannot steal from the people. In the court of public opinion, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is guilty as charged. He's a criminal. He perjured himself. He did not fulfill the constitution. And such a person should not be our next president. So it is important we state this for everybody to understand, that our pressure will be times 2. And the worst thing you will ever want to have is an obedient as opposition. You will not sleep any night in Aso Rock with peace. You can't sleep at Aso Rock with peace. For the rest of the days you spend at Aso Rock, till we get back our mandate, you won't have peace. Because you stole from the people that will be on your neck till they get back their mandate. It's very, very important to understand that. Well, let me bring in Mr. Baron. Baron, you can come up right now, and you have the space. Please, sir, I think you have something important to announce. You can go on now, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Saddam, and thank you, everyone that's on this space and who've heard our principal spoke. I'm only interested in actually giving everybody an up-to-date as to where we are in relation to our case in court. So, as I've always said, and I said initially when we started the space, nothing so far that has happened in court has affected any part of our case. So our case is strongly on, strong footing. The election petition trial is actually starting on Tuesday, which is the 30th. And as I've tried to explain to, on my timeline and tried to explain many spaces that I've attended, I said there are two, the cases against the person who's been declared the winner is multifaceted. There are core election constitutional issues on one, eligibility. Then there is also the constitutional issue of disqualification. The eligibility issue, if he's found wanting, he will be disqualified. Then there is the other one of disqualification, and then there is this part of the law that's talking about the non-compliance of the Electoral Act and regulations. So I'm a little bit looking at how the Supreme Court behaves in terms of non-compliance, election, whatever happened, that in my view is discretionary, and the Supreme Court as a policy court can weigh in on any of the sides. So that's not a concern. That's a concern for the court and for the legal team. And if that was only the case, I wouldn't be sounding the way I'm sounding. But when it comes to the eligibility issue under Section 137 and the issue about the eligibility issue under Section 137, there are two in particular. The one that he has actually committed perjury, and the one of the fine in the US. Those ones are very strong, and I don't see him escaping those ones. And then there is this double nomination issue that a whole lot of people think it's dead, and I'm saying it's not, because the Supreme Court actually did not make a firm decision on the issue itself, the substance of the case of double nomination. All they did, as I said earlier, was they made an obiter comment. We call it obiter dictum, which is of course a passing comment, which is not binding, has no force. It actually gives the legal team, Peter Obi's legal team, the opportunity to explore how to actually tackle that. Because I like that they did that. I always thought it was a decision until I read how they ended that matter, and they found that it was a obiter dictum. And I had discussion with some of my legal colleagues, and they thought, we all agree is an obiter dictum. So with that case is quite clearly on. So everything about our case is there. We are going to be online to talk about it from Tuesday, and I encourage all of us to stick together and follow the case, because it's going to be interesting. I have just one concern. I have one position, not a concern. I want to see the way the Supreme Court justices will sit and say somebody who committed perjury, or somebody who has been indicted, who forfeited quite a whole lot of money in the US for as proceeds of narcotics, should continue to occupy the office of the president. I want to really see that. I don't want somebody to tell me. I want to witness it happen so I can record it down in history. Because of course, sometimes we grow older, we should expect people like Hush Puppy to, be laying claim for the presidency. So those are the things that I want, and I want all of us to be perfectly optimistic, and I think it's a good ride. Thank you very much, everyone, and I yield.
Thank you very much, Baron. I think you just said the right thing. I'm really wondering what precedents the Supreme Court want to set for Nigerians. Like for real. Hush Puppy will come out from jail now, and in 20 years' time, you tell me that there are some people that, and this is exactly rewriting history, because if talking about that drug dealer that was caught in America and forfeited $460, $460,000, they would have been talking about him, and would have come up to see all these things. But unfortunately for us, back then, all we had was print media, and this same set of guys controlled the print media. This same set of guys formed the fulcrum of the people that fought the military against democracy, to get democracy. Apparently, they were fighting the military for their selfish interest. They wanted the military to go so that they can take over power and continue stealing, not with Kaki now, but with Abada. That's what they were looking for, and they got it, and we have seen them that they are even worse off than the military, because if you check all indices and all statistics, Nigeria fared better during the military than right now. You go back to Lagos and you see all the major infrastructures in Lagos State were built by Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida. All those bridges were built by Babangida, and he had the finance they had then, and now you cannot even compare it. We have like 20 or 50 times more than we had then. So it is crazy, and you see these same guys just come out here, brainwash a whole lot of young people. It is just unfortunate where Nigeria is, but I'm just so grateful for the obedient movement that let us not forget what we have started. We started something in a year ago yesterday. Peter joined LP, and we have gotten somewhere. We have gotten somewhere in 1 year. Mandela said it's a long walk to freedom. Please, let's not forget that. Let us not give up. Let us stay strong, put pressure on the judiciary. They must cower to the will of the people. A criminal can never be our president. Tomorrow is just an Owambe party of celebration, celebrating the death of democracy in the country. That's what they're going to be having tomorrow. Exactly. So let me just bring up other people up here to speak. Call me Lexi, do my brother. Good afternoon. I've been a good evening. I don't know what time it is in your time, but good evening. Otumba, if you can hear me, please. I cannot see you. If anybody can see Otumba, please let me know so I can bring you up so you can bring him up here. Lexi, you have the space. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. For everyone who joined our family meeting, it was great to have our principal, and I'm sure we all enjoyed it. Even though it was 35,000 before he left, it was fun to watch. It was fun to listen to. I don't know if you noticed. Do you notice that Mahmoud joined this space? I saw him. The man joined too. He came to listen to what a responsible man talk. He came to listen how a responsible president talk. And from everything... Who came? Mahmoud! You didn't see him. Mahmoud came. He sneaked in. They all sneaked in. They listened to him, looking for a word to use against him. And the man never said anything. He never castigates them. All what he did was he's trying to calm us down. But lastly, when the man was going, he now said he heard they are going to arrest him. Made them just shout the Disney like this.
Let me do a disclaimer for him here. Let me help my brother. I beg you, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I beg you. I plead with you. Please arrest Peter Obi.
Let me wait. You will talk. Wait.
Please.
Wait, Saddam. Wait. Hold on.
They burn down your head.
Hold on. Saddam, wait. Because now that part, pay me pass. He said he heard they are going to arrest him. You did not arrest Mahmoud. You did not arrest Tinubu. You did not arrest Buhari. And you now want to arrest the only man that whenever he have chance to talk, the only thing he will just say, let's calm down. Don't worry. Let's follow the process. Everywhere. You won't see Chris. That's when you will know that we are mad. That nonsense that this one, as Arido Kubo is doing, is just doing theory. You will arrest him for what? But the only thing he's telling us is to calm down. They will arrest you, Baba, and you will want me to calm down. No, it's not possible. I will not calm down. Peter, if you are listening, just tell them not to touch you. They should leave you alone. The way they are trying to clone you that is not succeeding for them is enough. They now say they want to go extra miles. Let's just enjoy it. Like the party you want to do tomorrow, do your own one bed. We can see your clothes. Enjoy it the way you want and let the court process go the way we want. That's the only thing we want. And for every obedient that has joined this movement, honestly, we deserve an accolade. Respect yourself. Let's keep on doing it. As our principal has said, let's remain calm. But if they come for us, we are going for them. The mayor has said it. He should not apologize. Don't apologize on my behalf. Don't apologize on my behalf. They have wasted my 8 years. That nonsense, Buhari is talking nonsense. He's saying nonsense. What? Oh, God. But it's okay, Sha. We will remain calm now. Sherry, they say we should remain calm. No problem. We are calm. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. I love you all. God bless you.
Thank you very much, my brother Lexi. Thank you. All right, let me bring in AGK. AGK, you have the space now. Good evening.
Yes, thank you very much, my brother Emir Saddam, and distinguished obedience on this space. That parting shot from Peter Obi is it's actually making me angry right now. With the cynicism that he's probably obviously hearing that this guy will arrest him. You see, this is the problem we are talking about. This is why we have been screaming on this APC government not to allow a criminal, a convicted drug baron, to ascend the throne, the hallowed throne of Nigeria as president. But of course, Buhari wants to burn the country. But let me tell this old drug sniffing bastard that if he tries as much as have a scratch on our principal, Peter Obi. You should forget Nigeria. He won't even see a jet to fly out to Guinea. Let him try it. Let him try arrest the only credible candidate we have in the history of this country. Let him try it, because I know that these criminals, by the time they ascend this throne and destroy our democracy from tomorrow, we will see hell. But let them try it and see the force the Nigerian youth will come. NSAS will be NSAS will be nothing compared to the amount of violence they will see in Nigeria. But I mean, our principal continues to tell us to be law abiding. This is a man that has always said things the right way. This is a man that has behaved in accordance with the law. But let me tell you people, if you want Nigeria to remain peaceful, you better face your criminal government until the Supreme Court removes you. Because yes, the Supreme Court will remove you. I am yet to see, just like my brother Baron said, a precedent that the Supreme Court will set, that somebody who was convicted of 460,000 criminal drug money will be allowed to be president of Nigeria. Somebody who did not meet the constitutional requirements. For goodness sakes, are we mad in this country or what? So it's not going to happen. We will not allow it to happen. But for now, we will remain law-abiding. But if they are running mad, if a mama no born and well for Guinea Conakry, let him try, this because Peter Obi tries to give us information in a way not to escalate the situation. But believe you me, for him to have even said it on this platform, he has heard security reports. He has heard security reports that there is a possibility of his arrest. Why can this man, how can he labor so much? What has he done? He's a Nigerian. We're all Nigerians. Nobody can be more Nigerian than any Nigerian, Aisha Yusufu tells us. So let them try it. If Mama born and well, like I said again in Guinea Conakry, he will not have a flight. He will not have a plane to get out of Nigeria. The kind of violence you will see. Nonsense people, idiots. Thank you. I yield the mic.
My brother, it is well, bro, but it could be so frustrating, listening to these guys speak. Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you.
Sorry,
All right, guys.
Which Otumba are you looking for? Is it on the violence space handle?
Yeah. I can't see.
I can see the
No,
violence space handle.
I can see violence space handle, but Otumba's account is not here.
He has not really. I can't see. I can't even see. I can see the violence space handle. He has not requested for the mic with that.
Oh, okay.
I can't.
I am Saddam. I was gonna say something. You see,
go on, bro.
The moment I gave my submission earlier on about him not apologizing on our behalf anymore, I got close to 68 messages from APC guys. At that point in time, were about, I think, 36,000 people on the space, and they were just asking, what are you going to do when they arrest him? And you are telling him not to. I'm just trying to read out these messages. You're telling him not to apologize. What will happen when they arrest him? So those, out of the 68 messages I got from APC, about 50 of them were emphasis on him being arrested. So, and I did not pay much attention to that. But when he was giving his final submission and he was telling us about, it's like he's preparing us for what might happen. And he mentioned that I'm even hearing they will arrest me. And my mind was like, what? I mean, it's just too much of a coincidence that these idiots are in my DM sending me messages about these things. And he mentioned that at the end of his speech when he was about leaving. My brother, hey, APC, whoever it is, I say they don't sack that shemale. I say they don't sack that one. I beg, please arrest Peter Obi. I am begging you personally, or not on behalf of Obedient, personally, please arrest him. Because it's like you guys don't understand that the only thing holding that country right now Because within the obedience, we dey even vex for ourselves. Say, maybe we protest, maybe we no protest. It is because of Obi himself. He's holding a lot of people back. People are mad in that country. I have service members, soldiers, armies in my DM expressing how angry they are, expressing how divided they are within their own military ranks. The only person holding that country together with his words is Peter Obi. Let him make just one simple tweet. Making hand just drop tomorrow, say DSS in my house or they've arrested me. Hey! I'm not going to be the one to tell you what's going to happen. And that's the reason why I said, you just fuck around and find out. Please. Please. Did you see how many people came in here to listen to him? And he spoke to us presidentially. He spoke to us not like obedience. He spoke to us as if he's speaking to the Nigerian people. Yeah, go on, Saddam.
More people listen to Peter Obi here today than people that will watch the inauguration around the world tomorrow.
Which inauguration? Burial ceremony. Now, democracy burial ceremony that they do tomorrow. Now burial ceremony they want to do tomorrow. Democracy burial ceremony in Nigeria. That is what all those people here in Nigeria, they are here to witness the burial ceremony of democracy in Africa. That is just a fact. And he said something. He said, what is going to happen tomorrow is nothing but going to strengthen him, make him more focused on getting his mandate back. That is a man right there. Focused man right there. And that's the person I'm proud. That's the person I'm supporting. That is my principal. That's the next president of Nigeria. Listen to the way he spoke to us calmly. You can't even tell they are. Man, this man is going through hell. Did you hear the words he said at the end of this speech? He said they're even blackmailing. He mentioned blackmailing. You can imagine that. They will be threatening him with so many things. They're blackmailing him in so many ways. Probably frozen all his accounts. You don't even know how he's feeding himself. Did you hear when he was explaining what happened about the duplicating his personality? That is mad. They can easily do something in the hotel room and they just frame him up. They'll wait for him to go and check in a particular hotel. They're tracking him. They know where he is. They will go there and just commit an offense and they'll leave the place. They'll probably be the one to call the police on him. That is the kind of demons we are dealing with. But guess what? He still has this heart. He has this heart of trying to still apologize to them. That's the kind of human being he is. I can't do it. I can't do it. It's just the bold truth. I cannot do what PO is doing. I can't. I see you as my enemy. I still smile with you. I have a lot of obedience that I'm actually angry that he went to Wike's book launch yesterday. Was it yesterday? A couple of days ago. A lot of obedience are angry about that.
No, that's a wrong statement, Jimmy. He didn't go to Wike's book launch. He went to a Bishop Kuka's book launch in Port Harcourt.
In Port Harcourt, okay, sorry.
So it's good you give that information out. And Wike is the governor of Port Harcourt, so definitely they'll meet at the same event.
Okay, because initially I was hearing that Wike invited him, but whatever the case may be, obedience, a lot of obedience are actually angry because of that fact. Because seeing him together with someone that actually backstabbed him, that did a lot of things just to make sure he lost the election, and we can still see everything is on the IREF. It's on the IREF. I mean, people just couldn't comprehend how would you even stand next to this guy and take a picture. I can't do it. And that's the person we want us to, we want to be our president. That is the next president of Nigeria. Take it or leave it. I don't care if he's Igbo, Yoruba, or Hausa. He has what it takes to be the president of that country. And he's going to be the president of that country. The only reason why we're being the way we are right now is simply because of him. Rule of law. And that is exactly what we're doing. Patiently. So if you guys want to scatter the whole thing, yeah, it's fine. Go ahead and do that. Just arrest him and see what's going to happen. Thank you, Saddam. Are you now?
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you, guys. All of you guys up here, since all of you have spoken, so I think I'll start dropping people down, bring more people.
Oh, yeah, that reminds me, Saddam, one more thing. When we were having the space, something actually happened because all the speakers, there's something Twitter does. Only the people with blue ticks, comes top first, they are the ones. So I have a lot of non-blue tickers on my DMs. They were just mad about the fact that they're not calling them. And what the algorithm does is places the blue tickers as priority. So guys, I don't know. I mean, Elon is indirectly telling you guys to go get blue ticks, or I don't know. Maybe some other time we'll figure out how to select people without blue ticks. I'm not sure how that's going to work out. Saddam, back to you.
Yeah, I think
Yes,
more.
sorry, Jimmy. That's actually one of the things I wanted to speak about, because when we have big spaces like this, I think we should give a lot of priority to those small accounts. I mean, a lot of people here, you have big accounts. You can type things and talk about issues, and you have responses. You have people respond to you. You have people DM you about it. But a lot of these small accounts, they don't have that opportunity. And when it comes to spaces like this, I mean, they also want to be heard. And if you look at it, most of the big accounts that even spoke, they didn't ask any question. I don't have questions to ask. I just want to say this. You can type it on your page and people will respond. Most of these small accounts, they have questions. I mean, I've even checked my DM. I'm seeing a lot of reasonable, like amazing questions that personally I think I will even write them down and throw them to the right quarters much more later, because these people have more sensible questions to ask. They have more viable questions to ask. So please, I just want to plead, especially for those big accounts. You have the voice, yeah. You already have the amount of people that you can tell these your ideas to, and they listen. If you don't have any question, because most of them came up here, they didn't have any question, they just wanted to speak. And I think we're doing those small accounts a whole lot of disservice. We need to also put them in mind, because they also have a whole lot to say, and they don't even have the numbers to push most of these ideas. So when it comes to spaces like this, we should please try and give them priority, so that we can also hear what they have to say, and also they will also feel like they are part of something. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my sister. But in defense of what you just said, I think I brought in some small handles also, and also we know how this place started, crashed, had to come back, the timing. We didn't have up to 20 speakers up here today, so we just have to also understand that. Also, Elon Musk again. Well, if you come up here, you got to see how the people are lined down, the way they line them up. You see that small. Before I can even see how they have to scroll down, and it is crazy.
Oh, Saddam, I don't envy you, man. I won't even lie.
It is crazy. I don't want to. I can't even read my DM. So my DM is like, oh no. You don't want.
No,
You don't want.
I mean of my message could you wait for your DM.
Oh no.
I guess it was crazy. I get.
God help me.
I'm
But
sorry,
guys,
Sam. Can I go on? Can I just quickly speak about? I mean, most of the things I have to
yeah,
say.
sure. Why? You can go on, my sister. Go on.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of people ask me about the court cases and then the courtroom. The sad part about this is the court is a very enclosed space because of how sensitive it is right now. Hopefully, I don't know if after their burial celebration tomorrow, they'll still make the courtroom that tedious to go in. But I mean, fingers crossed. But since the court case started, it's been under lock and key. You can't just, go in and go out. Some people that actually come from maybe from here, some of them kind of like text me. I have to, put their names down for access. The thing is, you can't really come into the courtroom, because I've seen a lot of questions asking, how can I get into the courtroom? They want to have access to, see what's happening in the court. Hopefully by after tomorrow, the court case is on Tuesday. We'll see how under lock and key would be. But you know that right now the judges have put a stamp and put their feet on the ground that there will be no more phones. From outside, you have to drop your phone. They'll search you. They will use, I don't know what they call that, electrical stuff. They will search you very, very well. If you're a guy, they'll send a guy to you to touch you very well, to search you. If you're a lady, they send a lady to touch you very well. If you're hermaphrodite, anyone you want to choose, you can choose, come and search you very well. But they'll ensure that you don't have any phone on you, just because they don't want what is going on to, go into the media space. So the courtroom is actually very closed. But one thing I want to assure everyone is that whatever is happening there, you're still going to find out about it. You're still going to know what is happening in in live updates, because there are a lot of people who can even log on using their laptops to text and tell you guys what is going on. And a lot of people have been a bit sketchy, because some of the judges received national honors recently, especially the lead justices for the Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court. They're giving them a lot of national honors, and it's as if they've been bought. But I want us to continue to have hope, because that hope is what is going to take us far. We're the same people who came out when they told us that we're just four in a room. We're the same people who won an election when the system was against us. So we can't back down now. We cannot back down now. We see what is happening outside the courtroom. You see Asari Dokubo with his tout. I don't live in Abuja, but currently there are a whole lot of people here. You see Kabaka and his touts. Everybody, they're all around here. And then you wonder, what are these people doing here? Why are these people getting access? And then let me say, well-meaning Nigerians don't have access to go into these places. I just want us to, continue to have hope that we're going to get this done. And this case is actually going to further embarrass the government. And also, if they feel like they are going to trample down on our voices using the court case, then let us all understand that we have the power. We have the power to make sure that our voices are heard through the courts. And even if the court wants to act like they don't listen to us or they're not there, we know the ways that we can also get back our mandates, and we're going to get it back. I need everybody to also remain calm. There have been a lot of calls for protest, and I don't want to tell you that, don't protest or protest. But what I'm going to say is simple. Number one, nobody is going to fight for us. Nobody will fight our battles. Not America, not the UK. Nobody will fight for us. They can only do as much. And trust me, the US have done so much. It takes them nothing to congratulate a president. It takes them nothing. Look at what happened with Turkey today. The elected president was congratulated almost immediately, but they've not done that. The official handle of the US president has not done that. It takes them nothing to do it. So they see what is happening, they see what is going on. But again, nobody will fight our battle for us. So as the court case is going on, and as their burial ceremony is going on tomorrow, I want all of us to do one thing. Let's continue to make what happened during the election trend. If we can make the from ECHA trend, amazing. If we can make what happened during the elections trend, amazing. If we can make what all these people did, especially bringing in tribal battle.
I can also get up. A lot of people cannot get up, but we're so excited. Great job, you, Jimmy, David, running the space. I think it was refreshing to listen to P.O. and it just reminded us why we joined the movement, why we fell in love with this man. To me, it's a love relationship now. So I think it was great listening to him, and there was something that kept happening on. He said he cares more about the process. The process means everything to him. And if people, whether you're listening to whether it's basketballers or footballers or soccer players or successful people, they always talk about the process and the journey and how sometimes as humans we get fixated on the results, but sometimes the journey, sometimes you can take a pause, take a deep breath, take a stock of where you've come so far, where you're heading to, appreciate the journey. To me, that was one. I think that was the biggest thing I picked from him. The process matters a lot to him. He's a process person. So, and he also told us we should still remain law abiding. So I interpreted it as it's within our rights to protest as law-abiding citizens, so we have every right to do so also. So, I think that gave a lot of clarification, as long as we do it peacefully. I have faith, and he kept saying regardless of the outcome. At first I was like, P, what do you mean regardless of the outcome? I'm like, we only have one outcome, but I understood where he was coming from when he kept saying things like that we're not going away. The journey to change, to fix Nigeria, it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. So just thank you for holding this down. I can only imagine the the wild things you've been through. So thank you. That's all I wanted to say. Back to you, Salam. Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you, Omo.
Please, Saddam, let me just quickly clarify something. Yeah, I just wanted to clarify what I stated earlier. What I was actually trying to say is, this we should give more, because I'm seeing some comments using the hashtag saying they didn't give small accounts or some, smaller accounts the opportunity to speak. That was not what I was trying to say. A whole lot of small accounts actually spoke today. What I'm saying is, for those big accounts, let us try to, take a step back, especially for the fact that most of us, we don't have questions to ask. You don't have questions. You just want to speak. Please, most of these small accounts, they have viable questions. So what I'm saying is more smaller accounts should be given the opportunity to speak. And also, if you know within yourself, inside, that you don't have questions, especially when we have, important dignitaries or, people in the political space, when we have them here. If you know you don't have questions to ask, you don't have to be up there. You can, take a step back. Most of us even had to, immediately we had people, we tried to, come down back to listeners, just so we can have more people up there to speak. Twitter only accesses 10 speakers. There's so much the host can do. You don't know, like, I was not even the host, I was a co-host for if a few minutes. I even came back to co-host again, and look at the amount of messages I have, not to talk about the person hosting. I can only imagine how crazy his DMs would be. So I mean, you can't expect that he will go through everything. It's crazy like that. So what I'm just trying to say is, because I'm some of us are, on the comment section trying to say, oh, some people were being selective, they didn't give you space to speak. No one was being selective, please. The only issue is that, I mean, if Twitter can access 30 speakers, of course a whole lot of people will be able to come up to speak. I'm just saying, within yourself, if you know you don't have questions to ask, please just take a step back, especially for those big accounts that, whatever you have to say, you can type it on Twitter and it's going to get tractions. Let the smaller accounts, be given more opportunity, and let us have more of these accounts coming up here to, tell us their ideas and speak to us. Because most times, most of these ideas that they have are very brilliant, but because they don't have the traction for it to, get to the popular space, we don't get to see it. So when we have opportunities like this, we can give them, more chances to tell us what they have in mind. That's what I'm trying to say.
Sarah,
Thank you.
thank you for saying that, because even me, for example, I was on the space, but Sanam could not see me, So even sometimes you might think you're requesting, and you think, oh, sometimes you can't even see you. You can't even see your request. And when you're hosting spaces, the number of conversations, maybe because I've been hosting spaces for a while, or hosting spaces, number of conversations, the things that go through your head, your mind, man, it's ridiculous. Like it's hard trying to manage things like that. I wish, like you said, I wish Twitter could let us take like 30 speakers or 40 speakers. Even then, sometimes you'd be like, you know what, this person should go next to. And you already had the conversation, and then, but that conversation, because you've had multiple conversations after that conversation, you jump to another speaker, someone will be thinking, oh, you intentionally skipped me. Bro, no. I forgot what I said 5 minutes ago. So please don't want you to get offended. We're trying to make the best of a really difficult situation. So thank you. Back to you, Saddam.
Thank you very much, Otumba. Someone is in my DM now saying, can I have the mic? And I can't even see the person here. And you see, what people don't understand is that when you host spaces like this, you cannot. I don't know how Twitter operates. I don't know how Twitter operates, honestly speaking, because there are some people that you think you've requested the mic. It used to happen to me when I go on that post, you request the mic and you think you've requested the mic, but you're not seen. Especially when we have all these a whole lot of people requesting the mic. So please, guys, most times it's not as if I don't want to bring you up or something. I cannot see you. To be frank. I cannot see you. If I can see you, why would I not want to bring you up? I'll bring you up here. That's why we're having this conversation. Yeah. So please, I cannot see you. Mr. Steven, I cannot see your request, but you're my DM shouting I should give the mic up here since 5 o'clock. I cannot see you. So please understand that. Thank you. All right, I don't know who has not spoken up here. I think Lady Ure, are you there? Can you hear me? Jermaine, can you hear me?
Hi, Saddam. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Good evening, my brother.
Yeah, good evening. Fantastic space, really. I think the space has been quite very therapeutic to a lot of people. It has answered a lot of questions. It has doused a lot of tension. It has really helped because a lot of these questions that have been on people's minds, some of them have been answered. And one of the things I really did like about the space is the fact that it brought everybody together. It had this centralized way of bringing everybody together. Yeah, we in quotes we call ourselves the headless mob. But I think sometimes it's really important that everybody converge in a particular space and hear from our principal, like the unifying force. And I think this really did help and would help even shape the narrative forward of what conversations people are going to be having in their spaces and what people will be saying. Because often at times we find ourselves having different conversations, different places, and people saying different things. But I think, just like our principal have said, that going forward, the bi-monthly stuff, it will really, 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 really help. And I think that unity and that converging together is actually very important. A suggestion I could also make would be that even beforehand, I think there are questions that will naturally be the same. I think there are technology right now that have links where you could go in. You can ask a question. People can go in there and vote in those questions. There are technologies like that. So what I mean, like you go there, you type your questions. People can go in, log in there, and if the question is something that has a lot of um, votes or something, it automatically will go up. So a lot of all those questions that people would naturally have, it doesn't have to start like the anonymous score because I know another thing you're trying to do was trying to go to the comment sections, and that's going to be really very, very difficult for you to do as well. So I think we can also explore that as well. That would really, really help in that. I just want to say I'm very grateful we had this conversation. I would have really hoped and asked. Well, I think probably we'll do that later on, maybe in the next conversation we'll have, like how we can really move this forward. I think Ibrahim said something that's very key. Um, while we talk about the case, while we talk about Peter Obi's case, it's very important that we're also building the Labour Party as well as we go forward, because we see a lot of the shenanigans that happen with the Papa was because of the lack of our people bringing those structures, that are having those conversations going forward. That can we build the party? The lady, LP chairman right now in Lagos is calling for registration for Portugal and join the party. How are we pushing that narrative? Because it's not just about talk and talk and talk. We need to start creating those structures. We need to start putting those places. We need to have people accountable. And talking about accountability, we'll definitely have more questions. I don't want to go into a rabbit hole, but I know I mentioned it in a violent space last time. But I just want to restrain myself from saying certain things about our person in Abuja. But I just want to say thank you very much for the space, and I hope we'll do well going forward. Thanks.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you. All right. Life issues, you have been here. Good evening.
Life issues, are you there? Nope. Saddam.
Hi, I'm here. I'm here, Saddam. Hi, Saddam. Hi. Hello.
Go on, Ma. Go on.
Oh, hi. Good evening, Saddam. Thank you so much for this space. It has been very therapeutic for me. To be frank with you, today has been the best day of my life. I couldn't. I've been like dreading tomorrow, but this space made my day. And after listening to Peter B today, you know what? I've had this rekindle of my fight and my spirit. And for him, when I listen to him, this is a man that you can see he has passed through a lot, and he's still there and he's still hanging in there. And I'm telling myself, how come I'm depressed, or how come I'm worried, or how come So thank you for most of us obedient. This space gave us so much hope, especially when tomorrow is at hand. And when I heard his closing bit, and Woyomi, thank you so much for your comment that you made, because that guy needed to hear that thing from from us saying that we're with him till the end. We are going to hold his hands and we're going to support him no matter whatever. We are there. I want to say thank you so much. Thank you for this space. That's all I can say. I don't even have any question. And for us all that are obedient, we don't know what we have done. We don't know the change that we have brought to Nigeria. We have made those impacts. That is why even Shtima, all of them are just talking because they know and they are listening. And the last thing I want to say is this. It does not matter how long this court case takes. We must be a formidable opposition. We will scrutinize all of their policy. We will look for those loopholes, anything, any step that they take. We must be there to checkmate them until our mandate is gotten back from them. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, to my go, please.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nice Issues. I think next is we'll go to Woman Nigeria. See your hands up. You want to comment real quick, or is that?
Yeah, I just quickly wanted to say something. That's what I wanted. So first, I just wanted to say, Saddam, like I was saying just now, I don't envy you, and let me add my voice to apologize to like everybody on the space that tried request. I know, so because Otuba is just saying it now as well. Like I was waiting where I knew that Saddam was, it must have been. I try to imagine because even on our quote unquote now small violence space compared to this, you see requests and they're like so much and it's so difficult sometimes. So I was just trying to picture that and multiply that times 30 or 100 and just imagine what Saddam, because I had requested, in fact, I had, reached out because I wanted us to, publicize Parallel Fact. And I knew that if Saddam had seen my message anywhere concerning Parallel Fact, he would have been done it very fast. So I think it was a handful. And for me, like someone had said just now, I think this is very much a success. First of all, like David was saying earlier, I know how many attempts that have been made to bring Peter Obi to Twitter space. As in, all of them has been, in fact, even Peter Obi said it because it was beginning to look like we needed to believe, even David was trying to say it's becoming, looking like a sabotage. So, averagely, it was a success. I'm keen to what the last speaker just said just now. I think to a very large extent, if not 100%, the purpose of this space was really, really much achieved. I think some people don't know where it originated from. This space actually originated from the fact that we thought a lot of people were feeling downcasted and we wanted to motivate. So it first led to us. When I saw that, I mean, really Saddam, I remember Saddam was asking what were we going to do on one of the violence spaces and all that. And nobody really responded and all that. But, on that next violence space, Madam Aisha came and motivated. That's where this all started from. After she had finished, she went back and PO called her and she was like, oh, we are talking about you somewhere. And I was like, oh, you probably not invited. You probably not invite me. That's how it came here. And it was really, like yesterday when we were talking on violence space, it was really to motivate. Like the lady was saying just now, it was supposed to really be like a therapeutic space. It was not supposed to be like, a space where you come and drilling, what's going to be your policy or something. I had to pick out, like when I came up, eventually, after talking about Parallel Fact, I had to pick out somebody's question that I had seen on the timeline regarding, the killing in the Middle Belt, which I felt like, okay, this is like a question I think I would want him to talk about and all that. So on the average, or, even way, way, way above average, thank God for the success for me. I think it was a success. I like the fact that people were motivated. There were two things that Peter Obi said while answering Kibati's question. And, I so much love Kibati's first question. He said two things I think everybody should take note of and should be assuring. He said, one of the first things he said that, what is happening tomorrow is going to motivate him. Like, what is happening tomorrow is not deterring him. So I was like, oh, if it's going to motivate Peter Obi, I think it should also motivate us to an extent to the point of knowing that we have to stand now, as we have to stand our grounds more now and try to push back more now. So I think that's what he was talking about. And the second thing he said was that, which was also assuring because, the LP case and all that, the Apapa case, he also said that, LP could have left the case and he would continue. So he was the petitioner. Nothing in the Electoral Act. It was only said, I just remember that the Electoral Act did not really say both the party and the candidate. It can be one of them, it can be both of them, And I was like, yeah, that's true. I mean, if it was worst come to the worst, if Labour Party wanted to walk away, Peter Obi could have continued. So for me, those were very much assuring. So that's really just it. For me, I think it was a success. Of course, can always do better.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you. Tuma, if I come back to you guys, I just want to inform all of you, because many of you here are new to this handle, new to this environment. This environment is probably you're just joining us. Please, if you're obedient, this is for those that are obedient, and you feel like you're downcast and you feel like you're worried. We have our spaces every Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Tuesdays, 7 p.m. Nigerian time. Thursday, 7 p.m. Nigerian time, and Saturday, 4 p.m. Nigerian time. We call it the violence space. That space is one space that you need to be there every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays. I promise you that you will understand why Tinubu said some statements that he stopped coming on social media. And you understand why they are scared of you guys on social media also. So please join us every Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Hopefully, we'll help our people on ground as we hold hands together in getting back our mandate. Is very, very, very important. This man understands that stolen mandate must be returned. It's a must. He will not sleep. He will not have one night of peace until he gives us back that stolen mandate. All right, let's go on with the conversation. Otuma, I think I'll come back to you now. Thank you.
Thank you, Saddam. I think we'll go next to, I think Ajibade has been here for Ajibade AJ. Ajibade, go ahead. Ajibade, are you there? Okay. Let's go to.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead. 3 minutes, please. You go ahead.
All right. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak. So, basically, why Peter Obi was speaking the other time, he actually talked about. Sorry, I hope everybody can hear me now. So he actually said some things that it's like a motivation to everybody, like the whole obedience and Nigerians at large. One thing I believe is the just is like the people who owns the true mandate will definitely have it. Either it takes a year or anything. That is one thing I believe. But for the sake of what is going to be happening tomorrow, I don't know, this might not be related to what we are saying here, but at the same time, I just want to say something that people should choose peace. Yeah, I understand the fact that we are grieved, we have a whole lot of anger in us, and we just want to do something. But at the same time, definitely, regardless of what we are doing tomorrow, nothing can be done at that same tomorrow. So let's just keep calm. And definitely, one thing I'm very sure about is justice is definitely going to prevail. And Peter Obi is definitely going to still get the mandate. So regardless of anything they are doing tomorrow, regardless of anything that have been taken illegally, definitely we are going to get the mandate back. And the people's will definitely prevail, because the voice of the people is the voice of God. So please, ahead of tomorrow, I know some persons might be trying to, let's just keep calm, and definitely at the end we are still going to win. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much for those words. Let me go to a female. Mrs. Chisom, how are you doing today?
I'm fine. Saddam, good evening on my side. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Mr. David. Can everyone hear me?
Yeah, but it's your voice is it's low. Are you using headphones?
Yeah, I'm using my. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's a lot better now. Yes, it's a lot better now.
All right, I'm so happy to be on this. This is my first time of speaking in a space like this. I am not a Twitter person, but because of this election, I am now beginning to love Twitter spaces. Thank you so much for organizing the meeting with our dear PO, and I want to appreciate every one of you for making your voice heard. Is a very much thing, a good cause to be pursuing. So I want to thank you, Saddam. I don't know why you say we should be asking questions with hashtag and you did not read the question again. That's why I'm even still staying here so that I would talk. Mr. Saddam.
Let me speak for him. You know, they were like probably 3,000-4,000 questions on the hashtag.
Which one?
No, we have 8,000 questions.
Use hashtag.
Wait, my mommy, wait. First, calm down. We have 33,000 questions on the hashtag.
Okay. I was
even
sharing some of the question and was copying you, tagging you so that you see the question and ask. Because me, I was just.
And I now have 8,400 comments on the comments. We have on the comment, but where do I start from?
Yeah.
I just zoned out. I say, man, let's have the one that we can.
Don't worry, in the next meeting you can actually, call me so that I can volunteer, maybe reading those questions to you, so that so that all the job will be shared. Division of labor. Thank you to Sarah for pointing these things out. I so much appreciate her on how she really explained everything. Give opportunity to those of us with less followers to ask questions. Although I did not really ask any, I was just listening to our PO and other well-meaning Nigerians that were speaking from diaspora and those in Nigeria as well. I was so happy hearing your voices tonight, and I'm really grateful for that. So the next thing I want to talk about also is I'm hearing about what is it called again? Riot, protest or something like that. Please, I'm begging from my end. Every one of you, just be careful out there. We know how the EndSARS protest went, how they killed people and all that. I'm just pleading with every one of us to be very careful, extremely careful. Let's just do it like our principal said. We should just take it step at a time, one step at a time. Careful, be a well-meaning Nigeria, and also law-abiding. Okay, so that we will not lose any blood again. Those ones we lost before, we are still mourning them. So you don't want any type of that thing to happen again to us. And I pray that God will help us in all everything we do till we recover our mandate in the name of Jesus. Thank you.
Saddam, are you there? Otumba, are you guys there?
I hope I was heard throughout what I said.
Yeah.
Loud. Yeah, Otumba, are you there?
Yeah. I think you guys. Okay, go ahead, Saddam. I'm not sure who's meant to go next. Chisom just spoke now, so let's take a guy. I'm not sure. Guys, if you'd like to speak, just raise up your hands. So we can take the next speaker.
Can anybody hear me? I am Chris. His hand was up earlier. Yeah, I am Chris.
Okay. All right. Yeah, go ahead. I'm Chris. Yeah, go ahead.
Hello, guys. Hello, Saddam. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. First, I would like to say congratulations to everyone. We pulled this off. I kind of felt special when I, joined the room. I was like, wow. Peter Obi is in the same space with me. And I joined at a time when he was talking about education, and I requested for the mic. And as testament to what Saddam was saying earlier on, as to bringing people up and entertaining questions. I requested for the mic when he was talking about education, and now I have the mic. So it's not as if anyone is trying to not bring some persons about the small accounts, as we call them. So, like I said, I joined the group, the space when he was talking about education, and I was just thinking to myself, about one or two ideas that could help, improve our education sector. Like I am speaking from Canada, and one thing they do here is, it's a way to improve the educational sector, and I think it's brilliant. They task the sector with researches or research, there's a plural for research, that deliberate research for infrastructural, personal, professional, you name it, all sorts of development. And for me, I think with responsibility comes, some level of accountability that has to be given. And if you're being tasked with a lot of responsibility, it brings out the best in you if you really want to, put yourself, put your socks up and work. So I was just thinking that what if the educational sector back home is has a lot of task, a lot of responsibility, in the way of coming up with research, to solve electricity problem, water problem, you name it. If we can do that, task that sector really, then we will be able to invest in that sector. And at the same time, we would have professors and, as we call them back home, lecturers who really, really want to improve themselves. Because you would agree with me that back home, some lecturers don't even, put in the work. So they can't be compared to their counterparts in other parts of the world. So in that sense, I was.
Is it me?
No, not you.
I think we'll be wrapping up this space soon. Let's take the next speakers. Who's this? Kiwi Zoga.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah.
Please, you have 3 minutes, please. 3 minutes, and we'll come to you, Uri. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Okay, first off, I had a question for who I will call my role model, Peter Obi. I wanted to ask. I put up a question at Saddam with the hashtag, but I think it wasn't read. The question was, in all this that have been going on in the past 9 months, I've said many times to my friends that I'm not sure there are about up to 4 or 5 persons like Peter Obi in Nigeria, which I will not even count myself as the kind of motivation he has. But what I want to ask him was, he went through this same period, this same stuff, 3 years with Anambra State. In different occasions, he went through all this. The first one was his mandate getting back. Second one was impeachment. Third one was his number of years and so forth. My question is, now it has happened again, he's going to the court for the same stuff he went to court for 3 years in Anambra State. Has it at any time come to him this period that this whole talk of it may not be the same as Anambra State? This is Nigeria. Has it ever come to his mind, like, is it heartbreaking at the point to say, what if I don't get lucky a fourth time? That is what I would have, if I was in that shoe, to think. And that those negativity, and everybody wants to keep negativity away. But in my mind, I keep asking myself, has it ever come to his mind, like, would I be fourth time lucky? Not lucky in quote now, in the word lucky, but will God really give me this faith, this grace again for the fourth time? Because it's mind-boggling that somebody that has gotten everything he worked for with his hands can have this kind of situation for the fourth time on the same Nigeria. It is boggling. So that was my question I would love to ask him. And secondly, I wanted to say, as obedient, some of us will, just like we are the Gen Zs, or the Gen Zs, one thing about the Gen Zs, we lack patience. They will call it coconut head. So I would have loved to say, as obedient, I want us to put ourselves in those people that were in Anambra for those 3 years he was in court. If you're in Anambra, for instance, I think there are many people, I would have loved to hear from an Anambra person on this case to tell us, within those 3 years, was there any time when they forgot about the case? Were they following up the case that much throughout that time? And for 3 years, they were all on the case, like they were always going back to check how far this case. I think many of them must have forgotten. And that is what I wanted to bring back and say, even as we're doing our best to make sure that this thing comes up every now and then, and like we're always doing right now, we should not forget that those persons in Anambra State were very, very patient with him. They were very, very patient. It's 3 years, it's 365 days times 3. So I'm not saying this is going to go 3 years. I'm not saying that. It's a lot of process. I think that's why he kept saying we should all believe in the process, that it's not going to come like magic. Yes, we're the impatient generation. Not like impatient in negative terms now, but yeah, we want to get everything instantly. But we should always know that in his 3 years in Anambra State, a lot of persons, even some of them forgot. But like God will always have it. He blesses a humble beginning. And he will never keep his eyes closed to Nigeria's case. Abacha was, who tweeted this week about, I think Professor tweeted that God will save us like he saved us during Abacha. And I think he will. It's just at a point where we know that our faith and our strength has given up. He will make that thing work. So thank you for letting me speak. I just wanted to add that, but I think one day I will have a time asking that question, like what if I had already gone through his mind through this period. Thank you, Saddam.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. I think that question is very important. But if you understand, if you're on the right side of justice, if you know that if you, and he said something, you said 3 times. He said it actually more than 3 times. He has gone to court when he was a civilian. He has taken Nigeria to court, Nigeria itself, and he won. So it's not just he's used to going to court, and he's used to winning in the court. They know him. They know him very well. So I feel like if you have a case in court 27 times and you're right 27 times, go to court 27 times and you win 27 times. That's just the truth. Just that we understand how bad the judicial system in Nigeria is. And that's why we have to focus on that system and put pressure on them to do what is right. Thank you. All right, I think we'll take the last speaker for the day. That's Ure, and then we'll call it a short. Please, guys, you can always come back. Hopefully tomorrow, some of our friends might have an emergency space tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll just have space and not be dancing and playing music because helping them celebrate the death of democracy. But let me bring Ure right now. Ure, good evening.
Good evening, Saddam. Thank you so much for all you do. Otumba, David, Jimmy, as usual. Jimmy, I was so scared when you were talking. But anyways, good evening, everybody on the space. It's been an amazing evening. Listening to PO talk is just so refreshing. And then I want all of us, as we head into tomorrow, to know how lucky we are to have somebody like PO. PO is a very exemplary human being. Who could have thought that in Nigeria would have a politician that would say, search me. If you find any fault, I will step aside. And we have searched him. In fact, not just we, the authorities have been searching since he said this thing until this time, not a single stain has been found. The problem with stealing from the community is it becomes difficult to use what you have stolen, yes? So we're here holding a space. We would just say in many cases, oh, we're just holding spaces on Twitter. Some people say, oh, they're just talking. Yakub Mahmoud is running around. Stealing the drum of a community is easy, but finding where to beat it that's where the real problem is. You steal from a community, you stand the chance of being ostracized because you just find out that you're alone. It's a very lonely place to be in, and that's where they're at now. Forget all the noise that you hear. Sometimes the loudest people are the most lonely and depressed people in the world, right? They won, yet they're restless. So this time, right, the last time we had a space where I was talking about Ouroboros. That's the sign on Tinubu's cap, where I said that is a snake or a dragon eating up itself from the tail in an actual act of destruction for a rebirth. But the difference is that this time they're going to be eating themselves up with no rebirth in sight. It's going to be plain destruction because there'll be rancor inside. A people motivated only by the money that it's like mobilization fee. That's what motivates all of them. Juxtapose them to the obedience. We're a mob of enthusiastic people bound by not mobilization fee, but sheer will to see our country grow. It's a different conversation. So you see the difference, right? For Peter Obi, I feel that he's a very lucky man and it is just fate. He's been built for a time such as this, as I said yesterday. He's marching with the obedience. Just oppose that to people motivated by money. So like I said yesterday, right, it's not a coincidence that we're talking PO heading into tomorrow. Tomorrow is 29th of May, what has been a historic day in our country, Nigeria, since 1999. We're heading into tomorrow having a conversation around the actual winner of the election. It doesn't matter who goes on. We have seen so many people who have appeared to exalt themselves. I saw something also in the Bible that I want all of us to read after now. Saddam is such in a hurry to end the space. Maybe we can all take the time to read it, whether you're Christian or not. Maybe you can look it up. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, 15 to 17. The Bible clearly talks about the courts and how corrupt the courtroom can be. I was so shocked when I saw it. The courtroom and how corrupt it can be, but says, hold your peace. I know that these things happen, but it is fine. Good and bad deeds will always be rewarded. And I tell you guys, as we head into tomorrow, let's hold our heads up high. Don't allow anybody gaslight you. We've come so far. We've done so much. Yes, we get, pain sometimes. It's so difficult to see what's going on in Nigeria now. But hold your heads up high. We're doing something great, something that has never been seen before. They envy us. They so badly want to be like us. And that's the reason why is there anybody that talks to something ugly? Nobody robs an empty shop. Nobody robs, a secondary school. Everybody robs a bank where there's value, where there's money. That's exactly what happens with us. When they hear the Obedience are doing something, everybody gets restless. That's the thing. And just before I leave as well, it's been nice to also send a shout out to Ibrahim. You talked about Zamfara. You guys are also a force in this movement. Our prayers are with you. The Middle Belt, our prayers are with you also. Thank you so much, guys, for all of us, all of our strength. We draw strength from each other. Otumba, I don't know if I said hello to you when I came on as well. Thank you, guys. We're heading to tomorrow strong, and we're going to come out tomorrow the actual victors. That's what this says. So don't allow yourself to be gaslighted at all. Good night, guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my sister. Thank you. I can't see any other speakers here. I don't know, but guys, thank you very much. Otumba, you want to say something before we shut down the space? Jimmy.
No, Saddam, you can wrap up the space. So thank you, everyone.
No, Saddam, we've been at it for a long time. Just it's a wrap for me here.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you, guys.
Omega X said to check your DM, so maybe after you're done.
Oh, okay, guys. Thank you very much. It's been an amazing time with all of you on space today. Thank you to all the people that could speak and those that could not speak. Hopefully we'll be here again a few months from now with our principal. Hopefully with Dati, people are saying let's get Dati. Hopefully we'll get Dati also. We'll just keep talking, and please, those that are out there protesting, do not stop. Tomorrow is one day, many Obedience will be out there making noise. Go out there and show them how you feel. Albert, peacefully. Make your noise as you want to make your noise. We out here, those online, please hold the fort. Make hashtags tomorrow. Tinubu is not my president. Let's make sure we're trending. And while you're making those hashtags, please come out with documents. Show the world that nobody voted for Tinubu. Bring out all the evidences you have, your polling unit results, videos of people that his thugs attacked and killed in course of trying to steal his mandates. Just bring out all the evidence. Let us flood the social media tomorrow. Let us make sure that tomorrow is a Black Friday. Tomorrow is a Black Monday across the world. The world should understand that we are not celebrating. We are mourning the death of democracy in this country.
Can we trend Black Monday?
Yeah, we can trend Black Monday. All our big handles on the platform. Please, guys, jump on it. We see all of you. Thank you, all of you. I cannot even start calling all the names now, but God bless every one of you. Those that could not come up to speak, it was not intentional. It's just because we had so many people requesting for the mic and we could not bring everybody up. We'll be back here hopefully on Tuesday. I am not sure we'll have a space tomorrow. But people, Obedience spaces will be going on. We'll advise Obedience. Open spaces tomorrow. Come out tomorrow. And
yes, Saddam, there will be the 1 million man space tomorrow as well. So
thank you. So please join up on the 1 million man space tomorrow. Find other Obedience spaces. Just go there, share energy. We have a very long walk to getting our mandate. Do not give up. If you feel down, reach out to one or two Obedience and just talk to yourselves. We have ourselves. That's all we have. We do not have a government. Nigeria tomorrow enters an undemocratic state. So it's important to understand this. Going forward, do not call that man, and he is not my president. He's never going to be my president until he gives us back our mandate. He's a criminal to me. That's how I see him, and that's how I'm going to address him, a criminal drug dealer till the very end. Take it like that. Post it like that. Make their lives unbearable for them, because what they're expecting is that, when they saw him in, it will return to status quo. Never, ever, ever. We will make life miserable for him on social media until he returns back that mandate he stole. Thank you very much, Otumba. Thank you, David Hundei, N6 Fellows. Thank you, my brother Jimmy, Wellman Nigeria, Sarah Ure, everybody up here. that could not come out to speak, I'm sorry. Thank you to everyone that came out tonight. God bless every one of you. It's a pleasure having this space and holding this space with you guys. Hopefully we'll be back on Tuesday.